pass to Caldwell Pope. Drummond working against Bogut. Here's Caldwell Pope. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. They get Stephen Curry.
And guys, you know, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, this guy screams potential at you. I mean, perfect size and length and speed for a 2-guard. He plays both ends. Right now, it's all about consistency for him.
He's off on the second. On the topic of Caldwell Pope, he's the kind of guy who needs a year to feel his way around. In college, Greg, you may recall he showed dramatic improvement between years 1 and 2. The same thing has been true in the pros.
Yeah, and he has everything going for him. I mean, excellent outside shot, tremendous defensive tools. He just needs to add some strength and stay in attack mode to reach the next level in his development. And it's like raining buckets right now. I wonder if this is the early stages of a blowout.
Well, we've got to be careful. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves just yet. But it has been pretty ugly so far, no doubt about that.
Curry kicks to Green. Buries it from 3-point range. Green's got 7.
And you know what? They've been on a nice run here, had the ability to widen the gap. Now they are rolling.
Yeah, backbreaking run, really exposing the weaknesses in their defense.
And now the first timeout called here for Detroit. And when you look at Draymond Green, he's not a guy who will wow you with his numbers or his athleticism, Clark. He brings a lot of intangibles, though. And I remember talking early in his career with Tom Izzo up at Michigan State saying those exact things, that he gives you so much more than just what you see.
And his current coach and our former partner, Steve Kerr, raves about him. He's the heart and soul of the Warriors, in Steve's words.
Caldwell Pope kicks to Harris. Drummond passes to Harris. The feed to Morris. To stop the run, down to 5 on the shot clock. Rebound Bogut. Warriors have gone a perfect 6 for 6 in the game up to this point.
You know, you talk about Green's enthusiasm for the game. He's constantly talking, whether defensively or even in an opponent's ear. He's a vocal presence. And also another example of how a guy can make an impact without necessarily having it show up in the stat sheet.
Here's Drummond after the made shot from Klay Thompson. And they're able to recover, and they'll keep possession. And the basket by Harris.
And guys, I was a bit worried, but now we all know the rim doesn't have a lid on it.
Yeah, you could actually feel the tightness and tenseness with each miss. I'm actually glad to see they got that first one out of the way.
And also, don't discount his leadership. Draymond Green's been a vocal leader his entire career. Even as a rookie, he wasn't afraid to challenge his teammates. And that competitive spirit, guys, can be contagious.
Here's Curry. On the wing, Green. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. Here's Golden State. Some momentum with a 15-2 run underway. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green. So for the Pistons, Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Morris. Johnson comes in for Tobias Harris. And it's Jody Meeks in for Caldwell Pope. Spates checked in for Golden State. Iguodala comes in for Harrison Barnes.
The defense needs to play tight on him, and that's exactly what they did to force that miss. Well done.
Iguodala with the bucket.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, and usually when a team goes on a run like this, it's because they are getting too many opportunities on the inside to make them beat you from deep.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
Pistons trail by 15. Johnson kicks to Meeks. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
And Jody Meeks last season, coming off the best effort of his career the year before, signed a big contract with the Pistons. They thought he'd be their designated three-point shooter. Instead, he missed the first 22 games with a back injury and just never really got in sync.
Aaron Baines, he's checked in for the Pistons. And the Warriors also making a change. Livingston's checked in, and Spates gets it to go.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
Now for Jody Meeks, we were just talking about with Greg last year, Clark. He did have a game where he rained 9 3-pointers on Orlando, just one short of the Pistons' all-time record.
Well, it's all about rhythm for him. I tell you where he finally found some rhythm last month of the season. I mean, he shot 57% from the field and 44% from behind the arc.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
Now, here's Meeks. To the middle. Here's Baines. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And really, last season was one of improvement for the Pistons. They were able to shoot the ball better and better as the season wore on. Overall, they cut out the little mistakes that had bothered them back in 14.
Ezeli's checked in for Golden State. Barbosa comes in for Klay Thompson. Well, as you said, Greg, the Pistons were a team that showed marked improvement, and Clark, they did clean up their play style as well.
Yeah, they got better from 2014 to 15 in terms of upping their assist and cutting down the turnovers. Just made it a much more enjoyable game to watch the way they play. That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Ezeli gets the bucket.
And there are more points tacked on here to the early lead.
And it's a nice lead as well. I mean, it's no mystery how they've done it. They're attacking the basket.
Johnson left side. They need this, and the officials call a traveling violation.
5 turnovers already. A terrible way to start a game.
And you better figure it out quickly or this deficit will become insurmountable.
Barbosa up top. He dishes it to Livingston. And the wide open shot from Green. That drops and it comes off the assist from Livingston. 10 points for Draymond Green. We're at the end of the first quarter. And Steph Curry, a player within the gym range, told us about his comfort stretching the floor.
And we're 5-6 feet out.
I was going to say, Greg, how big must that hoop look to Steph Curry? And tough to guard might be the understatement of the day.
I mean, he is just an insanely great shooter. I mean, arguably, I don't think there's an argument. He's the best shooter in the world. The argument is whether or not he's the best shooter ever. And listen, I can imagine there's very few times that Coach Curry is not going to allow this splash brother to let her rip.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far for the Warriors.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
So on the floor for Golden State to begin this second quarter. They've got Barbosa, Rush out there with Harrison Barnes. Then there's Stephen Curry, and it's Ezeli in at the 5. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
Clearly a mental lapse at an inopportune time.
Yeah, that's a terrible mistake, Greg, to make it any time, but it's really exacerbated when you make it at this time.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Andrew Bogut checked in for Festus Ezeli. Spates comes in for Brandon Rush. And it's Klay Thompson in for Leandro Barbosa. Now here's Curry. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And you think about Stephen Curry, clearly one of the greatest shooters the league has ever seen. Clark, I think you could make a case that he's the best off-the-dribble three-point shooter in league history. What do you think?
I think he's the best total shot maker shooter we've had in the league. When you look at all aspects of shooting, I don't know if anybody's ever been better.
Golden State's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. To the paint, here's Thompson. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got his assist totals piling up, 11 now for him. Curry with the steal. On the wing, Thompson. From past the arc. And another three for Golden State.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
They're losing their concentration here, guys. Some sloppy play going on right now.
Yeah, 2 turnovers in a row, and that's always a recipe for disaster.
The Warriors making a switch here. Iguodala's checked in. Now, here's Thompson. He's got 8. Back to Curry. Thompson outside. And Spates with the basket on the assist by Thompson. Spates has got his second bucket of the game to go. Pistons have gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second quarter. And it's Harris off the drive to halt the run. That one off the back iron and out.
Really tough for this group right now, trying anything to stop the run.
And no matter what they've tried, it hasn't worked. I think they've just got to slow it down, idle it back, and get back to the basics.
Here's Harris after the made shot from Klay Thompson. Harris missing again. And here's Iguodala outside. Rebounded by Jackson. For so long, there has been this mindset that Golden State wins through offense. But their defense, you know, Gia, you were talking about this, is where the true strength of this team lies.
Yeah, I think that's what's really allowed them to separate when you look at the rest of the league. I mean, they led the league in opponents' field goal percentage last season. And some nights, the shots weren't falling, but the defense always showed up. What a passing display he has put on here tonight.
Yeah, he's spoiling us, Greg. I mean, this just another fantastic dime drop right there. That one certainly should make the highlight reel. That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those. And you know, with the Warriors, it goes beyond the stats. High character guys, tremendous culture. They had a lot of guys that could guard multiple positions and defend them well. That was a big reason they became champs.
They get it again. Bogut. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. The Warriors shooting their first free throw. First trip to the line in this one. Free throw good, Bogut.
And you just look at this Warriors roster, and there are a ton of defensive playmakers. That ability to switch everything and be fine is what made them so tough on the defensive side of the ball.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. Tolliver comes in for Marcus Morris. Johnson, he's checked in for Harris. And it's Jody Meeks in for Jackson. Now, here's Meeks. And Detroit again with the bucket. And it's the Warriors with the ball. They've only given up 6 here in this quarter.
2 minutes left. 2.
Livingston kicks to Bogut. And he's going to get whistled for that foul, G. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
The Warriors making a switch here. Azili's checked in. And the Warriors miss again.
And he made sure not to just draw the foul. That was good defense out on the perimeter.
Very good. He's a thinking man's defender. Knows how to bother even the best shooters without being overly aggressive.
And again, no good by Golden State.
And guys, he's not the tallest or most imposing wing player, but Stanley Johnson has incredible strength and really unmatched confidence. One reason why so many were high on him in the draft.
Brandon Rush, he's checked in for Golden State. Pass to Azili. No good. Now the Pistons take it the other way. Oh, look out, and then you throw up stuff like that. And you go, oh my, how does it even go in? He pulls a Houdini.
Oh, my goodness.
Livingston dishes to Clark. Now Rush. Nailed from three-point land.